on, beautiful people? Hello, hello, hello. My name is ATX Crypto. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. As always, we're coming with the fireworks. Breaking some stuff pretty fast. You know how to do. But I hope everyone's having a great day. It is Tuesday, January 17th, folks. We're almost through January. Can you believe it? We're halfway through. And if it doesn't seem like time is flying by for you, it's definitely feeling like it's flying by for me. Before we know it, we're gonna blink. It's gonna be the end of. It's gonna be the end of. It's gonna be the end of January. So, hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Again, my name is HH Crypto. We're gonna be talking about the bear market today. Bear market, bull market. Are we back? Are we done? We got Bitcoin going up, Ethereum going up. We have some good price action happening, right? But is it all a trap? Are we still in a bear market? And that's kind of what we're going to be discussing about today. I'm going to be looking into what I think is going to be happening and, of course, share my views. Nothing I say on this channel is financial advice, so take everything with a grain of salt. But I hope everyone, again, is having a fantastic day. It is an absolute blast being here with every single one of you. Thank you so much. I was looking to be at 500 subscribers by the end of January. We flew past that number. My goal is now to be at 600 subscribers, and maybe I'm still short-sighting that, but help me and help you get there by clicking the subscribe button. It means a lot. It's definitely greatly appreciated, and I am having an absolute blast doing this. I do a daily stream live every single day, of course, hence the daily portion of it. But again, if you want to come join the fun, definitely come on and join the fun with us as well, folks. So, with all that said, right, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much to everyone who's coming back here, who's new to the channel, clicking it for the very first time. We are discussing a hot topic today, especially in the world of crypto, in the world of finance, and just want to see what y'all's opinions on this subject are. Let me turn on the light. All right. Gabriel, I see you. I see you right here, Gabriel. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, hello. Check my Twitter DM. I sent you something. Hey, appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, I don't get on the Twitters much, you know? I really don't. But that's all good. I can definitely check it out while we're here tuning, streaming, and having some fun. Let me just pull it up right now. Twitter. Got good old message from our friend Gabriel. Boom, boom, boom. Found a cool website. Okay. It lets you see wallet trades on a chart. For example, wallet 5171 has been accumulating hex. Okay. Okay. I see you. I see you, Gabriel. I like that. Here we go. Rugsy. Bam. I like that. All right. Well, we're gonna have to. I'll look into that website a little bit later when I have a little bit more time, so I can talk about it some more, of course, and be a little bit more knowledgeable with it when it comes. You're definitely not annoying. He says, "Sorry if I'm annoying." No, absolutely not, Gabriel. It is definitely interesting. Thank you for sharing that with us as well. I will, and it's probably the easiest way to say something. Hey, I sent you something, right? It's like, I could check it right away because, like I said, I usually don't hop on the Twitters much, as we know. But of course, we got Hexander in the house saying sup. What's up, Hexander? Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you saying hello. Appreciate you leaving this comment, the chat. Greatly appreciated from every single person who comes in, watches the streams later, part of the replay gang, leaves a comment down below, shows the love with all the love and all the appreciation. Much appreciated for every single one of y'all. So again, today we're talking about, are we in a bull market? Are we back to being in a bull market? Can we consider the bear market over? Right? Has the bull market returned? Do we still find ourselves in a bear market? I know it sounds maybe like a little bit of a snooze fest for some, But of course, we're going to make it interesting as we go. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's dive in. What's good, Big GZ? What's happening, my friend? Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you tuning in. So, first, we always have to define exactly what it means to be in a bear market, in a bull market, and that kind of basic breakdown for some people who may be new to this little ecosystem. And this is kind of the financial world in general. There's always a bear and a bull, and this has kind of always been the case, right? Are you bullish about something? Are you bearish? Meaning, so a bear market is characterized by downward trend in crypto and stocks and prices, typically lasting for months or even years in some cases. So imagine the time that you went to the zoo and the bear was just laying around, not doing nothing, just laying there, either sad or depressed or just sleeping. It's all good. You already know the bear's good to go. You know what I mean? Like, you already know the bear's gonna wake up and it's gonna start moving around and start being enjoyable and exciting. But you go to the zoo to watch this and then it's just not doing anything. That's not eventful for anyone, right? Well, the bear market in finance kind of goes the opposite way. You end up losing a little bit of funds if you're actually holding. Sometimes you can get liquidated if you're margin trading. There's other situations that can happen, of course, as we keep going. But then on the other hand, you got the bull market, and a bull market's actually characterized as the upward trajectory, right? Upward trajectory in prices. It's think about it like a bull in a rodeo, right? So it's like bull in the rodeo comes through and you see the little bull rider and they're just charging around, bouncing all over the place. And that's like the enjoyment, the fun, the excitement that you see, right? That's what a bull market kind of gets characterized as, where you feel bullish about something. You feel like things are going to start going up in price with everything happening, right? With the where's the bear market, you're just kind of sitting there and it's a snooze fest and you're like, man, I don't know if this is ever going to end. I don't know if it's ever going to end up waking up. Just like if the bear is sleeping at the zoo, are you dead? Are you alive? Like, you don't know, right? Well, that's kind of how a lot of folks are feeling, right? So what we want to see a lot of the times, whenever you start getting back into a bullish momentum or into a bull market, you want to kind of see the trajectory going for not just a day or 2 days, or maybe even a week or 2 weeks. You really want to kind of give it at least a month, and that will at least give you the basic beginning of seeing if it's returning to a bull market. So again, let's take a look, right? So of course, are we still in a bear market, or has the bull market returned, right? And that's the question that we're trying to figure out. Is it time to start jumping back in? And right now, it's a bit of a mixed bag, right? Like, it's a bit of a mixed bag for sure, for sure. There is some things that can have bullish momentum, especially when it comes to, news announcements and that kind of stuff. Whenever something's getting launched, AVAX just recently had their own announcement, and you start seeing some bullish momentum happening with that price chart. So there is a mixed bag of some things happening where it's starting to return. But if you just look at the stock market in general, right, the S&P 500, for example, right now it's definitely on the upward trend. So if I go back, and it's again partly due to, let me pull it up here, web dot. All right, so this actually is partly due to the fact that you have the inflation looking like it's going to start going down, or at least it's not going to be increasing by 3/4 of a basis point every single time. For a lot of folks, that just ends up being just way too much, and that's okay, and definitely understood for sure there too. Let me pull this up. Why can't I find it here? 1 second. I'm just trying to make sure that, once we get everything all pulled up here, it makes a lot more sense for everyone as well. All right, so we got the S&P 500, and I don't want to look at it over the last, like I said, we're going to look at it from the sense of 5 days, so y'all can kind of start seeing what I'm referring to whenever I'm talking about some bullish momentum, some bullish traction, and everything happening there. And let me get back to where I can share my screen. We got share screen. Boom. Window. Boom. And share. No, that's not the one. Share entire screen. Cool. So if we pull that up right now, I will click that on over so that way y'all can see again, share screen. I'm gonna get better at this. But this is what the S&P 500 has been doing over the last 5 days, folks. And so you can see we got this little momentum happening right here, right now, where this action's looking to be moving on up again, right? And so for some folks, they were getting very bullish, and you can see if I zoom out, and we can see kind of how it was even over the last 3 months. The S&P 500 was right here around 3,500 just 3 months ago in October of 22, and now we're sitting at 3,900. And at one point in time, we even got as high as $4,080. But if you look at the last year, you can see this is what I mean by a bear market. You can see us hitting this very top point up top right here, and we go down, and it's just a downward trajectory. We had some action where it started looking like it could start recovering, and then just kept going down. And we kept doing this for a period of time, right until about October. This is when you started seeing things kind of flip the script, and you started seeing some action happening. Now, again, if we're looking at based on the month trajectory, we've seen this before, where we saw it got down to around 3,600 in June, and it actually rallied all the way back up to around 4,300. So again, this could be a mixed bag because this is from June to even August, right? And so while we had a couple of months span right here, and it seemed like we could start returning, it seemed like that quickly ended, and we started going back down again over the next couple months. So it's always tough to say for sure what's actually happening overall with everything too. Now, if we go over to say Hex, for example, and we start looking at that bag, right? And that's what we primarily focus on here, where it's Hex, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X, right? Yeah, Hedron been pumping too, you know what I mean? Like, so be like, we're gonna take a look at some of those. And I actually want to get y'all's input on something, so I'll pull that up a little bit later because I actually do want to get your input on something that I have. So stick around, check it out if you're interested in hearing what it is. So have we returned, right? We have the S&P 500 starting to look like it's on that upward trajectory. We have certain sectors, energy, retail, we have housing and that kind of stuff, gas and that kind of stuff that's still struggling. So it looks like it's going to be a party for some where people are dancing, they're having fun, they're enjoying themselves, they're out of the gloom, and then other people are just going to have the storm sitting over them, and it's just raining on their parade the whole time, and they're not having any fun, and they're just sad, and it's just like, it's a simple little thing. So it's important to remember that in crypto, it's always going to be volatile. It's always going to have ups and downs. That's just a natural thing that's going to do, right? Crypto is definitely probably the most volatile, but it also has the best, highest appreciation in price that you can also get. So there's no other metric that can compare to, say, the gains you can get from crypto, but it also comes with some volatility as well. So while it's going to have ups and it's going to have downs, we still have a pretty easy line, right? It's a roller coaster. We know it's going to go up. We know it's going to go down, but no matter what, it's always moving forward, right? And so, like, just like a roller coaster, again, I'm saying this as it is. It can be scary. It can be unpredictable. It can, hit a corner real fast out of nowhere and just kind of like jerk you to the side, and just it can give you that feeling. Some of them go backwards and you don't know when it's gonna go. It's just going tick 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 tick, and it's just like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and then at the end it drops and you're like, ah, right, and you have all the fun. But if you hang on tight, you don't panic. Typically, if you don't do anything, you'll come out just fine in the end, right? So like, that's a big thing that people are needing to be focused on. You have to zoom out, folks. You have got to zoom out and look at the big picture of things. Because if we just go back to this chart right here from a 5-year perspective, look at this chart from a 5-year perspective. If you zoom out, like 5 years ago in 2018, it was 2,800. So even through this whole little bear market time, you were still positive through the entire thing. If you stuck around and you were here in 2020 when the pandemic happened and of course the price just crashed out of nowhere very quickly and you start zooming out, look how big much of a recovery this is, and you're still positive if you got in during any of these prices, anything below 3600 for the most part. You know what I mean? Because that's essentially showing that like literally everything below 3600, even right now through this whole bear market, you just need to zoom out, folks. You have got to zoom out, and I think that's something that a lot of folks will miss. A lot of folks will, right? And if we just do that same thing with like the Dow Jones, for example, and you get the Dow over here sitting for a 5 year span, right? If you zoom out, look at this. Like you're still positive. You had one point in time where you were negative if you bought back at the probably one of the highs for 2019. But if you come down here, this is all 2020, right? We already know what happened with the pandemic. Everyone just had a mass exodus, mass freak out. Everyone's like, everything's ending. But even through that whole time, you would have still been positive as long as like this one little period right here, this one little trench didn't really hurt you that much, right? And that's something that I think a lot of folks need to start recognizing, right? So like for Hex, for example, if you zoom out, like this is us looking at a daily chart right now, but let's zoom out and look at it for a monthly chart. And if I zoom out, guys, look at this. This is a monthly chart right here for Hex. And so if you had bought any time in 2019 during this whole time running up, you're still positive through the whole time. If again, you got to zoom out on some of these things, right? And so like this could still look like a bull market to someone who's just like, yeah, I'm in for the long haul because they just see this as a little period of time where it's I call it a chapter of your life, right? Because everyone's gonna have a different chapter. Everyone's gonna have their own story, and this is just another chapter to add to your book, to add to your book of life. This is that moment in time that you're like, I lasted through this whole time because yes, this is a fun rally that we saw going up, and yes, this is a bear market that we've seen coming down. And now that we've seen the macroeconomic world, we've seen what happens there, then we can get a better idea that, you know, if you have a long-term vision, that these prices aren't really, goodness, stay, that these prices aren't really going to make that big of a difference for you, you know, because this is something that a lot of folks forget. You have to zoom out and see that the price is still up from even just a couple years ago. So you can't look at it from a short-term thing, especially when something is in a bear market, which typically lasts a year to a year and a half in crypto. But that doesn't mean that it's always going to last that long. In some cases, it could be months. In some cases, it could be weeks. In some cases, it could be more than a couple years. So again, like when you have to zoom out and see from a bigger picture of things, and we'll take a look at Hedron as well, for example. And I know it's, whoops. Okay, Hedron is not in. Oh, because I'm pulling up the Uniswap V3 or V1, and Hedron's not a part of V1. So if I go over here to TradingView, for example, I like seeing this, guys. This is always good action. We're gonna probably end up bouncing right here off the 15 MA or EMA, and this is the 9 EMA. So right here you have the 9 EMA, which is the green. The red's gonna be the 15 EMA. Typically when these cross, it is a bullish time for the price action. We have seen that cross happen right here, and we have continued to kind of rally on its way up now. Now again, I'm not hyping up the trade or anything like that. I'm just trying to plan ahead because proper preparation prevents poor performance. So if you know what's going to be coming and you know you have a long-term vision and you know you aren't just playing this thing within this mindset that you're going to make a whole bunch of money within a couple of seconds, then you're going to have to play it a little bit longer. Now, Hedron follows Hex pretty closely. So you're going to see it crossed right around the same time. Hedron crossed, and then guess what? We start seeing that nice little price action happening here. So if you had got into Hedron, for example, and you were able to scoop up some of this price action here, then you would have already seen a pretty good return, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a nice little 50% gain of your money right there at the current price, right? And that's going to be 5015. And that's at the current price that it's sitting at. But if we go back and look at the 6-month chart, for example, and we'll just go 1 year. I guess Hedron's been around for a little bit longer now, if I'm not mistaken. So this is when Hedron first started. So Hedron's a kind of a weird one because it launched as a side asset to Hex initially, and then kind of became its own thing with the Icosa and Whatsa and everything else that they have going on with their ecosystem. So right now you still see the overall with the EMAs crossing on a weekly scale. We're still in the bearish zone right now, and once we cross this little area in the threshold and we cross back above, that's when we start getting bullish. But that's looking at it from a again a different perspective that we're seeing it, and it just always depends on where you look, folks. It always depends on where you look, right? You can always see things from different perspectives. For example, if I pull up BTC right now, we can see they got some good action happening as well. And so if y'all haven't seen this one, they actually are doing some pretty good things. I'll pull up the Kraken one here for fun because Kraken's a good indicator here, but we're going to go 5-year. So look at what Bitcoin has done. Again, Bitcoin has been around almost going on 13 years if I'm not mistaken. And so it's getting into the older area for crypto. It's the oldest one, first crypto ever done. And so just seeing what's possible and what can be done in crypto, it's using Bitcoin. I don't think you're going to see the gains like you once did. But this is still saying that cross is happening. This 9 EMA crossing the 15 EMA on the weekly. Once this cross happens, it's typically a good bullish indicator. Because again, you can see when it crosses, we get a nice little bullish move. When it goes down and crosses the opposite way, we get a bearish move. It's the same thing. When it crossed here, we get that bearish action. It almost came back and swung back ahead. Couldn't quite get it, and now we've been in this little bearish zone for, the last, what was it, since November of 2021, roughly. So a year and a couple of months, and that's just looking at it from this perspective. But again, guys, zoom out. See what we're actually talking about. Look at this. This is something where Bitcoin was like down here and ran all the way. So if you bought Bitcoin back in 2020, anywhere in 2020, you were still up, right? And that's all the way up. We're gonna say right here, December, the 1st of December of 2020. That's kind of where you were sitting in this little area right here. November, December. You're still actually up based on the current price of where Bitcoin is. So guys, you have got to zoom out. You've got to take a long-term view on this. You have got to see it for what it is and not just what it's doing right now. But if you plan on being in this game for a long time, you have to have a long-term vision. It does not benefit you to come into this game thinking you're going to get something done within a couple of days. If you try to play this action, you're going to get wrecked. You can probably make some good moves every now and again, but the chances that you come out ahead out of every single time that you do this, very unlikely. In fact, I don't know if it still shows it, but eToro used to say this at the top of their website, and Richard Hart's talked about this too, where 67%, I have a VPN on right now, and so it says it's not available in the country I'm in. All right. Okay, eToro. Yeah, right now it just says eToro is a multi-asset investment platform. The value of your investment may go up or down. Your capital is at risk. Your crypto assets are highly volatile and unregulated. There is no consumer protection. Tax on profits may apply. And again, I can't see the exact thing because, well, you already know it's how it does it. What's happening, K4K? What's going on, my friend? What is going on, my friend? So we have Big GZ saying, what's up? We got John Trotter in the house saying, good morning. I think we need to break above 3 cents, then come back and make support before we call it a breakout, in my opinion. John, I am 100% in agreement with you when you say that. And that's why, in fact, I actually have that line on my chart. Oh, that's a lot. But we're just going to zoom in just a little bit just because no need to see all that other stuff. Whoops. And so that was with the line that I had. This little line, it may be a little bit tough to see. I'll try to make it a little bit thicker. So this is where I say we need to break above this 3 cent level. And the 3 cent level has caused us some pain. We held it as support for a little bit, and it kind of retested this support. Retested support for a little while. We broke below 3 cents. We came back. We used it as resistance. We came back. We weren't able to break out of it. We're going to retest it again. Usually things have to retest it at least 2 to 3 times. So what's probably going to happen, we're going to hit 3 cents. We're going to bounce back down. We're going to have to go back above, retest 3 cents. Now, this can easily go out the window in half a second, folks. You have to understand that if we get news of Pulse Chain V3 testnet going public, if we get news of Pulse Chain going live, all TA goes out the window at that point in time. There's nothing that's going to be able to predict what's going to happen because people are going to just ape in. We know that because FOMO is a real thing. People have a true fear of missing out. They do not want to miss out. And once they start seeing prices start doing this kind of action, where you start seeing some recovery on it, it gets people back typed in, right? They just naturally do it. It's just a FOMO thing. It happens every single time. And with the announcement of Pulse Chain, Hex is going to be the primary indicator to get into Pulse Chain, okay? So we're going to do exactly that. We're going to come back. We're going to retest the 3 cent line. We're probably not going to bounce through the 3 cent line. We're going to hit it as a resistance again. We know that. And why do we know that? Because if you look at the Uniswap liquidity pool right here, you can see we have a big old sell wall to the left. This is a red line where we're currently at, and everything to the left of the red line is a sell wall. This is basically people saying they plan on selling when the price hits this number, 3.2 cents, 3.1 cents. So 3 cents is going to be a wall that we need to pass. You can see it right here. We're going to have a slight little resistance right around the 3 cent level, and then we're going to have some more resistance around the 3.2, 3.4, all the way up to 3.6, right? And so we know that's definitely going to be the case for sure. It just naturally is. Why? Because that's how markets work, right? You're going to come back here, you're going to retest 3 cents. We're probably going to bounce back down. How low we go back, I don't know. And again, if Pulse Chain V3 launches, or testnet V3 launches, we probably break above 3 cents, and maybe we need to pass 5 cents at that point in time, right? And that's the next line that we need to pass. 5 cents is the next level of resistance, but we're not there yet. I'll put a line here just for fun, because that's going to be the next line that we need to pass. But right now, as we sit, John Trotter, absolutely agree with you. What's up, Bright Light Crypto? What's up, Hexicans? What's happening? We got Lil Uno saying, fire, fire, fire. Let's burn, baby, burn. Of course. K4K in the house. What is going on, my friend? Happy afternoon. So it is a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Again, we got a lot of stuff happening, right? Whether it be some momentum happening in Hex, whether it be some action happening on the GitLab, and that's something I try staying in touch with. I try to see, maybe some ideas of some activity happening over here, because I want to know kind of like what's going on with these folks. We're going to look at the members real quick. You can see they were just on. Today is January 17th. So we have 3 Commas Capital. These are the developers of Pulse Chain right here. You can see that they're active on GitLab. So you got 3 Commas Capital, January 15th, Brett Paulson. If you aren't following him, his name is Brett Tep on Twitter. Give him a follow because he seems to be the one who's been probably dropping the most news other than Richard Hart. Now he won't say anything that Richard Hart hasn't already said. We know that to be the case, and it's not his place, and it's Richard Hart's puppy and his project, and so Richard Hart will be the one to actually make announcements. But once I see Richard Hart come back on here again, folks, that's whenever I'm going to get bullish, in my opinion. And once I see this date flip over from September and it says something like fucking January, oh shit, guys, I will be fucking bullish at that point in time. But until then, look at what the developers who are on that are doing it. We have Kyle Barr, January 15th. If you come on down here, we have SJB. And again, I know I'm kind of blocking this one just a smidge. But you have SJB over here, January 16th. You know what I mean? So like these folks have been on in the last couple of days. That is incredible. Like there is some stuff happening. There is people who are looking right now trying to figure it out. There is everyone who's trying to get into right now for this market, the timing and everything like that. I mean, heck, even right now we have Bitcoin and Ethereum rallying up, and we just saw Bitcoin a moment ago. And we already know with the market pair and based on Hart's law that when Bitcoin goes up, well, we typically also see Ethereum do the same thing, right? And so guess what? If we look at Ethereum's chart, and I go back to a 5-year chart over here for Ethereum, again, folks, if you bought Ethereum back any time in this time period between 2020, and this only goes back to 2020 in this scenario for the candles, because TradingView can only show so many candles, but that's a whole different topic. If you buy any time in 2020, 2021, you're still profitable, even through this whole rally of a bear market, or through this whole period of a bear market. But we see right here that we almost got this flip happening, right? And so we already know that people are getting bullish again in crypto. This is what it's showing me. People are kind of coming back. They're getting involved. They're getting more hyped again. Now, I always want to caution everyone, right? I don't want to get everyone's hopes up. I think caution is the way to play. We don't know if it's the end of a bull market. The end of a bear market. We don't know if it's still in a bear market. We don't know if this is a bull trap that we're sitting in right now. And so caution is gonna be your best friend in this scenario, folks. I think if you are playing it cautious, you were going to succeed. So if you're getting in, maybe you go in a small amount, but do not. Now again, not financial advice on the channel, of course, but I don't recommend going in and aping in when you start seeing these prices, because we still may be in a bear market, folks. Like, we could still be on that roller coaster ride, and this is going back up right now, and we may still go back down, because roller coaster rides do this. It's a constant thing. We already know that at the end of it all, everyone ends up coming out just fine, as long as you don't panic and you don't wreck yourself. You've seen it time and time again. Just think about, like, your my dog over here is just being an absolute goob. Oh my goodness, he is a freaking absolute doll. I love puppies, folks. Puppies are the best. Puppies are the best. So yeah, it is definitely hard to say, like, if we're still in a bear market or bull market. We see there is some bullish action happening. But we still have a lot of stuff happening overall. Like, we still have Mt. Gox that are coming out and releasing their funds, and that could be dropping Bitcoin price once people start selling, because that's something people are probably going to sell, especially if you locked your coins up from Mt. Gox that long ago and you get it back. You were positive in that sucker. It's like if you were unconscious through the whole time and you're in a hospital and you're in a coma, for example, and you're holding this crypto asset and you come back, 5-10 years later. Are you going to be in the profit? And most likely you're going to be in a much better position if you just do nothing. So sometimes that is the best play. Now, if you are not in crypto and you don't have any crypto, then now should be the time you should be looking to dollar cost average, right? I mean, we have a phenomenal portion in a phenomenal period of time where you have all these prices that are seeing damn near lows in the last year to 2 years, and that is a phenomenal opportunity for you. I think every single person should be trying to take advantage of these prices, right? Because, and I don't say like go all in whenever you're here. It's the same way whenever you're off ramping out of crypto. You do things in small portions. You never go all in all at once. You never cash out all at once. That's just how you end up getting wrecked. You put yourself in a jeopardizing situation. You end up having regrets about doing stuff, right? And so if, like, say for example, you got 10,000 sitting in your pocket right now and you've been waiting for the price to do something phenomenal, possibly hit 1 penny for hex so you can get a whole bunch of hex, and that price isn't coming right now, and it's still, and then now we're sitting almost touching 3 cents again, and now we're getting close to that little metric, and you're just like having this $10,000 burn a hole in your pocket. Well, maybe you don't go in all with 10K right now, but maybe you take some of it and start scooping up some of it at the current prices. And again, like, the typical rule of thumb is you don't buy on green days, you buy on red days, first of all. That's just a basic rule of thumb in crypto. I think you can, if you follow that metric, you're at least going to be coming up on the upside. You don't risk yourself FOMOing in and doing what I've learned to do, where, or what I've had happen so many times where you freaking buy and then you see the market start dropping. And you're like, no, I could have just waited a fucking hour, 2 hours. I could have waited a day. I could like every single time it seemed like I used to buy, the price would always drop right after. And I was like, dude, what the fuck is happening? Is someone watching me waiting until I buy? And it was so funny because like I would transfer money into say Coinbase for example, and then I'd have to wait for the funds to clear because I didn't know how to do it properly at the time and I didn't have a fast portion of it. So I'd have to wait for the money to clear and then the price would be dropping and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for it to clear. I have to wait 5 more days, and then 5 days would go by and then the price is starting to rally back up and I'm like, fuck, I missed it. I'm just gonna go in. And then the price would fall the next day and I'm like, man, that was stupid. If only Coinbase could have held it for one more day. Like, and it's not Coinbase's fault. It's fucking my fault, right? I make the decision to buy. I chose to do what I did at the time I did. Tell me when you're gonna buy, so so I can buy lower. Well, I have switched up my strategies, Gabriel. I no longer do market buys. I think I've gotten so frustrated from doing market buys that every single time that I have done a market buy and I see it drop within hours or days, like I'm instantly frustrated, and it's such a silly thing because it's like you decided to buy and you should be okay with your decision. But I now do limit orders. I think limit orders make me feel so much better for myself, for my health, and for my wealth. And so limit orders, when the price hits a certain number, I'm actually happy that the price hit that number. I'm actually happy that the price was able to scoop up some more. And so I've set limit orders on the way down, and I now have the strategy to set limit orders on the way up. So that way I don't have to decide when to sell, how much I'm going to sell. It's already planned out ahead of time, right? Tree ain't coming down until July, son. Yo, the tree stays up, my friend. Tortoise Johnny. This tree right here, this shit right here, this tree stays up year round, my friend. And again, I was telling y'all about that back in, December, November. Y'all like, oh, awesome tree. I'm like, yeah, it stays up year round. No, it really does. Like, seriously, it stays up year round, folks. I'm not joking when I say this. I moved the tree from my office to the living room when it's actually like Christmas time. And then after Christmas time, I move it right back into the office. It's just awesome. And I love it, right? It's a pre-lit tree, has all these little fiber optic strings on here, which give it that little effect to do the lighting. I just love the way it looks. And so I keep it up year round. And of course, it began like a lazy thing, right? It began like this thing where I didn't want to take it down. And then my wife and I were like, we'll just leave it up year round. And so for like the last 6 years or whatever, we've just always had the tree up, never taken it down. So yeah, fun little fact. But guys, like, yeah, so I now do limit orders so that way I don't wreck myself. I think there are lessons to be learned in a bear market, lessons to be learned in a bull market. I've learned both. And when you learn lessons in the bear market, typically they're hard learned lessons because that usually means something doesn't go the way you thought it would. The market didn't do what you thought it would. And so usually those are the hard learned lessons, whereas the bull market, you kind of can't really mess up. You know what I mean? For the most part, unless you're just buying the absolute peak, which again comes as a lesson in the bear market. You're like, oh shit. You never buy when things are making new all-time highs, right? Because and again, you're always going to have people coming into the project, especially who are new to the ecosystem, who have never heard about it before, who will be buying those prices. And if they don't buy those prices and it dips, then those are just good opportunities for you. If you know 60, 70, 80, 90% dips are in the game, I've now implemented strategies to say, okay, I'm taking profits on the way up, and I'm using that profit to reinvest into the dips back into lower dips. But again, I'm not trying to play this game where it goes up, 50%, and then I take profits, and then it goes down 20%, and I try to buy back, and then it goes up 20%, and I, take profits. Like, that's trading. That gets you wrecked. That's just not good. It's Christmas every day in Mexico. Facts on facts, K4K. It is. Christmas every day. We got red and green every day. The candles don't lie. It's definitely Christmas. Red and green every single day. But guys, like, that's something that you have to learn, right? That's something that you have to have a strategy on. So I want to share this real fast. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think, okay? I'm going to share my screen one more time. I've come up with this profit taking strategy over here that I've shown previously in past videos, and I'll share it again with y'all right now. But these profit taking strategies are just simply, when prices go and do a double in price from where you entered, you take out a certain percent of profit, whether that's 5, 10, 15, 20%. You choose what makes sense for you. And through that whole time, I've been able to come up with this spreadsheet here that kind of like helps break that number down, break down the math and what it is and what it could be and what it should be and that kind of stuff. So I'm wondering if I should over here on the right side, like maybe have a like entry price so you can kind of like keep track of everything. You can use this little calculator over here on the left. So that way you can just type in what say your initial investment was and say your initial investment's 10,000 like we just talked about, and you bought it at the 0.27 cents or 2.7 cents that we're seeing right now. Well, when the price ends up going and doing a double, it'll automatically calculate everything for you. So if it does a 2x, 4x, it'll tell you how much the price ends up increasing. And if you decide to sell a certain percentage, whether it be 5%, 10%, 15, 20%, it automatically does this math. Should I come over here and do like a strategy so you can say take profit here, and you can always use this to see your investments? So like say your next investment's 2,000 as an example, and say you get it in at 1.7 cents. Should that be something that you think would be beneficial having that over here so you can kind of know you don't have to always type in the numbers and you can just kind of see it? Or do you like the idea that you just have it on like a separate spreadsheet like I have this, where you can have your initial investment, it has the initial price, and what I have this doing as well is I have it updating with nomics. And so I'm gonna get into this in a second. I got a little distracted here. 1 second here, and I know it's kind of tough to see, so I'll zoom in. But just in case y'all missed it over here, this is what I was talking about with the profit taking strategy. You type in a certain number, it'll tell you how much it is. You can type in what the current price is. It'll tell you how many coins that you bought, how many times the price has gone up in price. And through all this whole strategy, it kind of tells you how much coins you would have remaining and all this stuff, right? So it does a good little job breaking that information down, and I have it to where that's kind of pretty much solidified. I guess the only thing I'm wondering is, should I do like the transactions on the right side so you can just enter it in yourself over here? Or do you like the idea that you actually have a full transaction entry page, for example, that tells you how much coins you bought, how much you sold? And I'm still trying to figure this out. So let me know down in the comments below or in chat if you're here tuning in what you think of, like, maybe some ideas here. I also have this tracking right now, the top 100 crypto prices with live price action happening on this page coming from Nomics. So this is pulling up the top 100 cryptos that are currently in market cap rating. It has them all listed. Should I bother with the top 100, being that we do primarily focus on Hex, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X? Should I include just the Hex ecosystem coins and pull the price action from there? I haven't done that page yet, but this is currently the top 100. So right now we have Hex sitting in spot number 21 and sitting at the current price of 2.69 cents. Because again, this will pull the actual live price of where everything is currently right now, and maybe slightly behind. Crypto Dave, yeah, for sure. And that's, I would love to have this spreadsheet. Well, of course. Tin Top, what's going on? Tin Top, hello. What's up, Hexicans? What's up, Hexicans? I'm gonna get that right with you. Yeah, Crypto Dave. I'm working on trying to figure this out, right? I want to come up with a man, I keep changing and modifying this whole spreadsheet, and it just, in my opinion, just keeps getting better and better and better. But I'm always still trying to modify it. And whenever you just bounce ideas off yourself, sometimes you don't necessarily get the same, use case. You don't maybe see some flaws in it. And so what I'm trying to see is, how can I improve this for everyone, not just myself, but for everyone? And should I even focus on any of the other coins? Do we care about XRP or Cardano or Dogecoin? Do we care what they're doing? right? And I know we have people in our community who aren't just invested in Hex and Hex only. We have other folks who are invested in many other projects. Should this be something that I would keep on here for the top 100, or should I focus primarily on the actual Hex ecosystem, like Keydrawn and the Maximus protocols and the Maximus DAOs, Icosa, and that way we have everything done. Pulse Dogecoin, right, and all these other ones that are coming, the Kami token. Should I have that instead for the live action or the live price spreadsheet and not even bother with the top 100, right? And so let me know down in the comments below, because I definitely do want to make this the best I possibly can for everyone. Because, yeah, I mean, I think it can be an absolute blast. Another thing I'm trying to figure out is, how to spread this information out, right? I'm debating going through and setting up maybe like a little Patreon group where I can have fun with everyone, do daily streams live, and keep a little bit more information on personal stuff, and then share this as one of the perks as a member of Patreon. Or do I just give this out for free and Patreon members don't really get anything? Or do I even bother? I don't know. I have so many thoughts going through my head. I share these thoughts with you. Oh, thank you so much, Bruceology. Yeah, he just recently subscribed. Got a new subscriber, Bruceology. Hey, I appreciate that so much, Bruceology. Sick thumbnail. Thank you again. I'm having fun. I'm making these thumbnails on Midjourney. And so, for those of y'all who don't know about Midjourney, it is a freaking game changer, right? Like, you can input a prompt and it comes out with some sick freaking things. And I've been like, should I show like Midjourney stuff with y'all one day? Should we go that route? Like, I don't know, man. I got so many ideas in my head that I'm trying to focus on what I can bring to the ecosystem and our community. I'm trying to focus on, where we can grow and where we can develop and what I can do and what I can bring. And so I love diving into blockchain analysis. I love seeing what wallets are doing. That's how I learned personally. I was already doing it myself, and so I decided to flip on the camera and show everyone else while I'm doing it. That's kind of how I began diving into people's wallets and doing a little, ATX investigator scenario, ATX detective, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, I'm having an absolute blast. Yeah, Midjourney was who what allowed me to make that one. And so, guys, like, fucking Midjourney is sick, right? And so I thought about using one of these little indicators here, or items here, to see, me looking into the blockchain and seeing some items here. Didn't really come up with some good prompts, but that was the Richard Hart thumbnail that I did the other day. For the other thumbnail, if you missed that one, I showed this one as my thumbnail the other day, where you got Richard Hart, the King, the Great, right? And so, yeah, I mean, just having an absolute blast making this stuff, right? I've had this one as my thumbnail as well. I added the little pulse chain symbol to this. I was making one. It actually looked fucking eerily similar to Fashion Coder, in my opinion. And so I actually shared it with Fashion Coder because, fuck it, why not, right? And so, like, as I did, let me go here and do. Man, I'm posting a lot more on Twitters than I really thought I ever would. Oh, how do I look at? Why can't I see the one that I sent? Tweets and replies, media. Oh, here it is. So tell me what y'all think. Does that look like Fashion Coder? It looked like Fashion Coder to me whenever I made it. I was like, that shit looks like Fashion Coder. It looks just like her. So I sent a little shout out to her, and I was like, hey, made this in Midjourney. It reminded me of you once it was created. Like, that was pretty epic. Anyways, but yeah, we have an awesome community here with our ecosystem, folks. We have an absolutely amazing community. Do I think that we are past the bear market? Man, I'm with Hex. No, because Hex is now. Oh, damn it, Gabriel. Damn it. Damn it, 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 damn it. All right, well, this was the thumbnail I was talking about. Does this look like Fashion Coder to you? Because it did to me. Whenever I saw it, I made it, and I was like, that shit looks like Fashion Coder. And so I shared it with her, and I was like, hey, it reminded me of you. Just made this in Midjourney. And it was a really sick creation. It looks absolutely incredible and absolutely amazing. And so I shared it with her because I was like, this is really cool looking. You know what I mean? And you can do a lot of stuff with Midjourney, folks. A lot. There's so much that we can get done with this. She got to see it. She says this is phenomenal. And if that reminded me of you, I would stop following you. Looks creepy. Why? Oh, Cherry Oaks. Well, I guess he's not into like sorcery and stuff, and like 18 hands and that kind of stuff. Midjourney has its own flaws. Don't get me wrong, but from the face perspective, the hair, the eyes, the way it all looked, the shape, and everything like that, it just reminded me of Fashion Coder, especially if she was a sorceress. And yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. Fucking wrong screen, damn it, wrong screen. I get it. I'm terrible. I promise I'm getting better, guys. I promise. I promise. Oh, goodness gracious, man. I don't know why I have such a tough time sharing. Whenever I start whenever I start like split screening and that kind of stuff and sharing screens, I always have to remember to click on different tabs and that kind of stuff, and I always forget the very last step, and that's just move it over so that way y'all can see it. I don't know why I have such a tough time, but yeah, the on a double strategy, yeah, exactly, yeah. Tortoise Johnny, definitely need to start learning that. Wrong screen, lol. Denise coming through, can't see your screen. Well, hopefully y'all can see it now. And Bristology says I do see it now. Thank you for that. Yeah, I know. Man. So yes, the double strategy is something that I think everyone should be figuring out, a strategy that makes sense for them. It doesn't have to be on a double strategy like I'm planning on doing. Um, the on a double strategy actually came from my time doing stocks, and the way it actually worked was you would get in, and once the price essentially did a double from your initial investment, you would just cash out 50%, and then you just play with house money. And you could sometimes do this where, if you caught it quick enough and you were early enough and you did all these trades, you would just be playing with house money at that point in time. But often you don't commit to that same standard, and you don't commit to selling on a double. And so crypto makes it a lot easier, in my opinion, to essentially make it so that way like doubles happen a lot faster. You don't have to wait for it to happen in stocks as long, because with stocks you definitely have to wait some time. But if you were in on some meme coins, on some rallies, on some Wall Street bets nonsense, then you could sometimes get a quick double and then just play with house money. So you would sell 50% of the bag once it doubled. Well, I don't want to do that with crypto, because crypto is too precious, my precious, right? And so I think with this strategy that I'm planning on sharing, this is my own strategy that I'm coming up with, right? And so the idea was that I do 5% profit every time the price doubles. And again, this kind of does a little spreadsheet for me that tells me what the price is of that double. Not only that, it also tells you how much profit you would have taken. So assuming that the price ends up going up, we'll say up to back to the 50 cents that it was at, or I'll just say 50 cents here. This is telling you that you would have taken on a 5% strategy $2,600 in profit. You would still have 91,000 coins left over, and this would also say how many coins you bought initially. And so this means you're still holding the crypto, you're not wrecking your bag, you've taken the 5% profit during this whole time, and now every single time the price actually doubles, and now if the price dips, you had the initial investment of 2,000, you're sitting on this 2,600. What's up, baby?
I gotta go.
Okay.
Leave the boys right here,
Okay.
okay? I'm gonna leave the back door open, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Love you. Have fun. All right, I'm back. Limit orders, sell on a Quarto dog? Quarto dog. I don't know what that is. Quarto dog. Sell on a Quarto dog. You can have both. I don't know what that is. Um, you can have both. Yeah, 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 yeah. So you can figure out what makes sense. You know who has a killer spreadsheet set up is the calculator guy. Is that his name? Called the calculator guy on YouTube? Is that his actual name? That would be funny if that is. The calculator guy. I am the calculator guy. The calculator. There is a fucking thing. The calculator guy. No shit. Oh, it's TCG. Tell me if this is who you're talking about. Is this who you're talking about right here? Steven? Steven TCG, the calculator guy? DeFi Dojo, yield farming, crypto calculators, protocol exploration. Let me know if that's who you're talking about, Tortoise Johnny. I haven't ever seen this guy before. I don't know anything about him. If he has a killer strategy that he can use for crypto calculators, and I can take some items that he's done. So again, Tortoise Johnny, let me know if that's who you're talking about real fast. Steven TCG, and I'm sure that is who you're talking about, but just verify with me, please, to make sure, and I'll definitely be sure to check his channel out. But guys, that's what I've always said. Like, so one thing I learned in the Marine Corps is you take some things that you love from some leaders that you looked up to, and you take the trash that you have from other leaders that are above you that have done stuff that you don't like. So when you come into the position of leadership yourself, you have the strategies that you've loved and you've taken from other leaders that you've loved and you've adored as well. And then you have the trash that you say, I'm never going to do because of what I had in my experience. And so through these experiences, you become your own leader and you take on your own persona of leadership and what it means for you. But I do find that implementing some strategies that implement from everyone, right? Everyone's persona, and we can all learn from each other. We all learn from each other, right? I started doing blockchain analysis really from Pulse Games, from Taylor Made Crypto, or Pulse Games on her channel. She started looking into I just realized I was 20 minutes behind. Well, I was waiting on your comment and then I just pulled it down. I was like, Tortoise Johnny didn't reply. I guess he's gone. So yeah, we can take some things that we've loved from everyone, like Hexologist, right? So one thing I did with him, he does a daily stream live. He would go through and he would talk about this kind of stuff where it's crypto news. And I thought that was really cool. So he would actually share crypto news happening right now in the market. And he would say like Bitcoin, Ethereum rally over 20% on the week as crypto market reclaims $1 trillion, right? And so crypto was below $1 trillion market cap or in its entirety for a long time, right? Since last November. And so I can take this kind of information and I can say, okay, cool. He would go through and he would look at these articles and then he would showcase some items. So like this one here, the key driver behind the latest upward trend was primarily Bitcoin hitting a 2-month high of 21,446 right before it hit a low retraction. And right now it's back up to 21,000 again. You know what I mean? And so like I would take his articles that he would share. I would use those items, you know, and I would talk about crypto stuff that he would talk about. This is something he'll probably talk about in his stream later today. The crypto bank, you know, Silvergate reporting 1 billion net loss in Q4 amid industry's crisis of confidence. So I kind of stopped doing this because he is now streaming again. And, you know, I'm using the same websites he would use. I'm using the same articles he would probably choose. And so I kind of stopped talking about the biggest news happening in crypto because, again, he's back to streaming. Yay! You know what I mean? Like, if y'all haven't seen, Hexologist is now streaming daily, or Monday through Friday, should I say? Let me switch it. But, you know, Monday through Friday, Hexologist streaming at 12:30 Central Standard Time, 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Figure it out for your own time zone to make sense for you. But that was something that he's doing again. And so I was like, yeah, should I keep doing what he was doing? Because I feel like not everyone who watches my streams watches his. Oh, that's probably the opposite way. Not everyone who watches his streams watch mine. So I'm sure I can still keep doing this. But I kind of felt like I didn't want to say like a copycat version, but I've definitely learned from a lot from what he's done. Right, he's been a big inspiration for the Hex community and our Hex ecosystem. And I thought doing these daily streams is a blast. Looking at these prices and what Hex does is a blast. Seeing the people who are coming through and selling, like I would go through here and I would be like, who the fuck just sold? So sometimes you would just, I was sorted out by here and say like, maybe who's done $100,000 sell, right? And so I would dive in and say like, okay, this person just did $100,000 sell, right, on January 16th. And then I would dive into over here, and I didn't really see too many folks doing this. And so I thought that was something I can more or less do myself. This is probably a centralized exchange if I'm looking at it from there. $270,000 sold. What did they do? What are they doing with it? And why did they do it? They are not holding anything. It's the cow protocol. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. You're doing buys and sells, right? So that's happening across the board. A lot of folks are doing a lot of interesting things for our ecosystem and our community. But I love the fact that we have folks making websites like this with Hexfire. It helps me dive into what the whales are doing, what the sharks are doing, what the dolphins are doing, right? I want to see how they're acting. I want to see how they're treating things. Gabriel just shared a really awesome website with me. I haven't had a chance to vet it, to check it out, to see how it works, or see or play with it. But you know, it actually will show you the transactions of a particular wallet, and I think that is really cool, right? Because then we can dive in even deeper and say like, okay, like maybe I take this wallet, and let me see if I can find this out on the website. So I'm gonna go here. This is a shark in the game right now. They have not too much happening. Last time they transacted was September of 2021, so that's quite a bit of time ago. How do I change this? Enter new address. Cool. Um, oh, do I have to choose the actual token as well? I'm assuming. Oh, this shows every transaction they've done with everything. Oh, dude, that's really cool. Not gonna lie. That's pretty interesting. Hmm. Ha ha ha. Token sent, token received. Okay. Let me play around with this other website here. I'll show it briefly so you can kind of see, but I copied over the link and you can see all the stuff that they're messing with and everything else. And again, I haven't had a chance to like fully check it out myself, so I don't want to get too crazy with it. I'll show it briefly there for a split second so y'all can see what I may be discussing in tomorrow's stream. So if you feel like, you can definitely click on that subscribe button, come back tomorrow, check out my channel. It's always a blast. We're having an absolute fun. But guys, it's tough to know that if we're still in a bear market or bull market. It's absolutely tough to know what's happening, right? Like, no one knows for sure, and anyone who says they do is just absolutely smoking crack. I would not trust them watching my kids. Let me just say that, unfortunately. So I'm gonna be on the cautious side and say like, guys, we may still have some ups and downs. The shit's a roller coaster. We already know. But if you look at it from a long-term perspective, the chances that you come out ahead in quality crypto is way higher than the risk that you're taking at the current prices that they sit at right now. So I just want everyone to know that, right? Mr. J, killing it, Brody. Appreciate that, Mr. J. Thank you so much. Take your favorite segment from every streamer you like and put your twist on it, and bam, there's your show. Yeah, that's exactly it, right? And that's kind of what I ended up doing. I would like go check on that site I sent you. You will see what he's doing. Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what I did, Gabriel. I'm gonna play with that website a little bit more because I like being a little bit more knowledgeable. I don't like coming at you fresh with it just at the very first time, seeing it for the very first time. I don't know if it's something that, you know, will get people wrecked or whatever. I don't know, man. I just want to be cautious about what I do, what I share. Now that I'm considered an influencer, ooh, with almost 600 subscribers, guys, make my dream a reality by clicking the subscribe button. I'm looking to be at 600 by the end of the month. It never hurts to go ahead and keep on saying that because, folks, we are so freaking close. We are sitting 33 people away from hitting 600. We have about half a month to go. We can definitely do it. and I'm looking forward to making it happen as well. So, guys, like in conclusion, I don't really know if we're still in a bear market or bull market. There's no real way of knowing for certain. If you look at it in the grand scheme of how it works for a month, 2 months, and 3 months, we've been on an upward trajectory right now. So, I am looking toward a more bullish sentiment right now for me. I think we still have a little bit of downside potential. Not much anymore, though. The risk to reward is so much higher nowadays, in my opinion, that I think if you take some risk now, and yes, the price may drop a little bit lower, that the reward that you can have in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, could be so much greater. So we know it's going to have ups and downs. We know it's going to be volatile. We know as long as you have a long term strategy, which is where Hex comes into play, you can stake it, you can earn trustless yield while you're waiting in this long term area. Not only that, everything you do right now on the Ethereum network is going to be freaking copied once Pulse Chain launches. So start making sure you're setting yourself up for things to be on both chains. If you're doing nothing and doing absolutely nothing and you're not in this game right now, start doing your research to figure out how to get in this game. Now is such a great opportunity for folks. I wish that I could have gotten onboarded in, but I'm glad that I didn't because I did get to experience so much and I did get to learn so many lessons. And those lessons are going to go and change for me for a lifetime. And I think I can go forward with that. I can come forward with a much better sentiment, much better analysis, much better possibilities, right? I want to make sure that I'm hitting all the plans correct. I want to make sure I'm doing all that. So as long as you don't have a long, or as long as you don't have a short-term play in mind, and you have a long-term strategy, and you don't panic, remember, we're gonna be just fine. That's it. We're just gonna be fine. Remember, if all else fails, just think about it like a freaking giant game of musical chairs, right? Eventually, the music's gonna stop, and every chair that you want to try to go sit into a chair immediately, and you're just trying to get to it, and just trying to get to it, and just sit in a chair when it does. Guys, like we know musical chairs are happening in this game of freaking crypto. I'm not trying to sit in the. I want to be sitting in the chair when the music stops because I want to make sure I'm still here at the very end of it. You know what I mean? So thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been an absolute blast having everyone tune in, having fun. Hop on a stream with Hex Token. You would be a good fit on there for sure, for sure. Maybe we'll have to find out a way to do that. Yeah, it's funny. I probably I don't do too many interactions with everyone else, but maybe I should. So we'll see. We'll figure something out. Finally caught the live stream, enjoying the content. Keep them coming. Harv Harry. I'm hopping off. That's too funny. I'm hopping off the stream for now. It's been an absolute blast having everyone in here. Thank you so much for coming through, sitting with me, enjoying the chat, enjoying the fun, checking it out. And guys, if you enjoy the content, be sure to click the like, subscribe button. To everyone who's still watching at the end, I'm going to click a little end segment here. Stick around, leave a comment at the very end so it kind of pumps the whole YouTube, metrics, as they say. But guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is ATX Crypto. I will catch y'all in the next one. Have an absolute banger of a day. Peace.